Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another exciting hour of Mid-South Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross, and along with Joel Watts, we'll describe the acts that you'll see in the next 60 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, some superb action that Matchmaker Grizzly Smith has organized here today. Great tag team action. For example, you're going to see the Fantastics go against the Dirty White Boys. You'll see Brickhouse Brown and Brad Armstrong in a very important matchup with Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. Death Williams, the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, ladies and gentlemen. Joel, plus we have a lot of great single competition.
We've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan in action today. We've got Kamala, the Ugandan Warrior. We've got Dirty Dutch Mantell, the new North American Heavyweight Champion. The Nightmare will be in action. And one that I'm proud to talk about, my father, Cowboy Bill Watts, will be wrestling on this episode of Mid-South Wrestling. But Jim, there's a special offer for a lot of people out there.
It sure is, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, Mid-South is a tremendous fundraiser for nonprofit groups and organizations. You'll get your paper and pencil handy. Here is how you can have Mid-South Wrestling in your hometown for your organization.
This announcement is for nonprofit groups and organizations. Mid-South Wrestling is a tremendous fundraiser, and dates are now being scheduled in your area. Your group could sponsor Mid-South Wrestling at your local high school gymnasium or athletic field. See the top wrestling stars from television in your hometown and raise money for your favorite project. For more information, write Mid-South Sports, 116 West Breckenridge, Bixby, Oklahoma, 74008, and include your phone number. Mid-South Wrestling can help your organization raise money right today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a tremendous fundraising opportunity for your group or organization. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, there's a legend in the ring, Joel.
Cowboy Bill Watts is just getting set to wrestle. Let's go to the ring right now.
This event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner from parts unknown, the Bruiser. And across the ring, 304 pounds from Bixby, Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Stampeder, Cowboy Bill Watts. Your referee, Tony Torres.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. There you see 304 pounds. He's a legend in his own time, Cowboy Bill Watts. One of the great athletes of all time and from Oklahoma. Of course, Oklahoma University now resides in Bixby, Oklahoma, where our Mid-South offices are.
Well, Jim, a lot of things have been burning inside of him lately. The situation with Skandar Akbar, what the Dirty White Boys did to Terry Daniels, and I can personally attest to the fact that he has been in intense preparation to come back into the ring. It took a lot to get him to, whoa! He just slapped the Bruiser. It took a lot to get him out of retirement, but I'll tell you one thing about him. He's not one of the athletes who had to retire. He came out of, he retired because he wanted to, not because he had to. And I think you can see that right here in the ring.
Oh! That football tackle from those days, University of Oklahoma. He's on the all-time great University of Oklahoma teams, and of course one of the all-time great high school squads there in Oklahoma, Cowboy Bill Watts. I tell you, he is ready to go. As you said, Joel, he's been training extremely hard for his return. He certainly looks to me like he's ready to take on any and all challengers.
I'll tell you, he's been running with me. We've been playing racquetball. He's been lifting weights. That bench press is up there. Oh, he's got the Bruiser tied up in the ropes. Whoa!
I think he's sending out a message to everybody, like Skandar Akbar and his conglomeration of people, the Dirty White Boys and many more. He's not going to stand for it. Whoa!
And he's got him up for that Oklahoma Stampede. Nobody does it better.
The Stampede's alive in 85, ladies and gentlemen, and there you see the winner, Cowboy Bill Watts. And we'll be back with more exciting Mid-South Wrestling right after this.
This event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. On my left in the blue corner at 235 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Frankie Lane. as we are waiting for Kamala, the Ugandan warrior.
Joel, I'll tell you this, I don't know, I don't think Skandar Akbar is going to bring Kamala down here with Hacksaw Duggan standing in the ring with that 2x4.
I don't either, Jim.
They're looking around. This match is scheduled Kamala and Frankie Lane. Akbar's no way. He's a smart man. He's not going to bring Kamala down here with Duggan in the ring with that 2x4. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're trying to find out exactly what's going on here, recently in the Superdome, what a tremendous wrestling event. Thousands of people, over 20,000 on hand. What a matchup. Jake the Snake Roberts against the Snowman. Muhammad Ali was there. Bill Watts describes the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy Bill Watts here from the floor of the Superdome, and it's pandemonium as you see the man, Muhammad Ali, making a triumphant return for the first time since September of 1978, when he set history to become the only man to regain the world's heavyweight boxing title for the third time, and he defeated Leon Spinks. And there you see the Barbarian and Jake the Snake waiting in the ring because Ali's here for a reason. The Snowman is defending the Mid-South television title against Jake the Snake. And Bundini Brown, Muhammad Ali's spiritual advisor, is signed as the Snowman's manager, and Ali came to be with him in this first appearance in the Superdome of the Snowman. There you see Ernie Ladd, a big fan of Muhammad Ali, restraining him as he goes, and Jake the Snake taunting him. There you see Bundini Brown in the white shirt. There's Bundini. There's the Snowman, the fabulous Snowman, the muscular, tremendously iron-hard wrestler that came and taken Mid-South by storm and is now the television champion. Seems styling, looking fine in that hat. Jake the Snake in the ring taunting Muhammad Ali. There's Boyd Pierce. There's the Barbarian. Bundini Brown, a few last words cautioning the Snowman. Ernie Ladd there on the scene. Carl Fergie. 20,000 screaming, exuberant fans at the Superdome in New Orleans, June 1st. Bundini Brown, the man who divides the slogan, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The man who took Ali to the mountain, the mystery of it all. And Muhammad Ali, sparks still fly from the champion's eye. There you see Jake the Snake. And you can tell the Snowman has been working out with Bundini Brown and Muhammad Ali. They'll never again doubt when he says that somebody's a friend of his or that somebody will show up for him, because he's proved beyond a shadow of doubt. And New Orleans turned out the red carpet for Muhammad Ali. There you see the Barbarian, collar and elbow, Jake the Snake, Carl Fergie on the scene. Top wrist lock. The Snowman so powerful, a 600-pound squat, 500-pound bench press, tremendously powerful individual. He is so strong, so confident, he can lay back and let you take your best shot and still come out. At any moment, he can pull the gun on you and hit you with that powerful power slam. You see him stun Jake the Snake, and he gives you the Ali shovel. There's Bundini Brown, the man who has been in the corner of more important matches. He was Ali's advisor for 20 years. And Ali there's a favor to Bundini Brown and the Snowman. There you see why the Snowman is so powerful, just like getting hit with a Mack truck. The Weasel Maker, or the Barbarian, very upset about the trend of events out there, as again Jake the Snake hits that immovable object and slithers out of the ring. Snowman confidently waiting in the ring, stalking Jake the Snake. Snake over there taunting Ali. The whole crowd chanting Ali, Ali, Ali. Pandemonium. You can see the tremendously powerful trapezes. There you see Ali, the spark flying. Nothing turns a champ on like the crowd. The trip. The Barbarian tripped the Snowman from behind. Snowman fell heavily to his face. Ali is after the Barbarian. Bundini Brown's after Ali. It's pandemonium here, but now watch closely. Jake the Snake. Looks like he's going for he went for the DDT. Jake the Snake hit the Snowman with the DDT. No man has ever come out of the DDT. Ali is after the Barbarian. Jake the Snake, the Snowman kicked out. He powered out of the DDT. No man has ever done that. Showing what tremendous strength. He's stunned. He's going on courage. And look at how upset the Barbarian is. Jake the Snake quickly drops a leg on the Snowman. wanting to keep him down. Guy goes again for the fall. So confident is Jake the Snake. Look at the power here as the Snowman threw Jake the Snake clear out of the ring on the floor. The Barbarian coming into the ring, hooking up the full Nelson. The Snowman in the full Nelson. Carl Fergie getting ready to signify a disqualification, and I think Carl Fergie just decided to let him handle it. Now Jake the Snake over. He's hit Bundini. Ali warned him if he touched Bundini, he'd get involved. Ali said he'd get involved if he bothered Bundini. The Snowman has broke the full Nelson. Jake the Snake is again picking on Bundini. You see the champion, his jacket off. And watch that right on the button. Right up on the button, so quick. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and Jake the Snake found out why Ali was the three-time world's champion. And the Barbarian, Bundini Brown, exhorting him on. The Snowman popping him from the other side. There's the power slam. The Snowman takes the measure of Jake the Snake. 1, 2, 3. The Snowman still the television champion. And listen to the crowd at this Superdome. It's pandemonium, and the Snowman does the Ali shuffle. He's on fire. The crowd has been electrified. The winner, the Snowman, Bundini Brown, and Muhammad Ali, as Jake the Snake goes down to defeat.
Well, the Snowman certainly walked tall in the Superdome.
Akbar
He does
has
know
refused
Muhammad
to come
Ali.
down to the ring as long as Hacksaw Duggan is here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you hear that conversation in the ring. Hacksaw Duggan says he's not leaving, and obviously Kamal and General Akbar have refused to appear because of that board. As I was saying, the Snowman did some serious walking tall. He does know Muhammad Ali and Bundini Brown. That's quite obvious. What an athlete he is, and we'll be back with more exciting Mid-South Wrestling after this important wrestling announcement.
This event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit.
I have an announcement to make. You know, Duggan, you must believe that you're dealing with a novice. As long as you're out here with any illegal foreign object, such as boards, etc., I'm not bringing Kamala down, and nor will I come down. But, Duggan, if you choose to play the game that way, I want to remind you that Kamala was once a great lion hunter in his native Uganda. Right now, he carries the spear only as a ceremonial object. But I must remind you, Duggan, he can use that spear any way that he wants to use it. Which means simply that with all my resources, if I have to bring in the one-man gang Killer Khan, a multitude of heavyweight wrestlers, incidentally, DiBiase, you owe me a favor. We'll get it done, Duggan. It's you and I, and Mid-South cannot survive the both of us. And with that Cowboy Bill Watts coming out of retirement, I know what that means. I know exactly who the allies on the other side is going to be. But don't ever count me out, because I made a fool out of you, Watts, Mid-South, and Duggan, I've got plans for you like never before. So don't turn your back, fella, because it's gonna mean the end of your career. You'll be pushing pencils and join the rest of the handicapped people in this world.
This tag team event, one fall, 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death, Steve Williams. From Miami, Florida, Rick Brown. And his partner from Marietta, Georgia, Brad Armstrong.
What a matchup this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. The Mid-South Tag Team Champion, Ted DiBiase, Dr. Death. There you see him. Going against Brad Armstrong in the green tights. And, of course, his partner, The irrepressible Brickhouse Brown. It's Armstrong and DiBiase, certainly no strangers to each other. Starting this confrontation, Joel, a tremendous tag team battle we are about to see.
Well, once again, right here on Mid-South Wrestling, you get to see main event caliber wrestling in action, right in your own living room. I'll tell you, there's nothing like it in the live arenas. It's fun to watch on television. But you get out and you watch a match. DiBiase's really taking over on Brad Armstrong. Brad Armstrong reverses the arm whip. Really elevates DiBiase. A drop kick. Another drop kick. He's got DiBiase on the run.
Armstrong's on fire. So the crowd at the Irish O'Neill Boys Club in Shreveport.
Brickhouse Brown and Brad Armstrong, a great tag team. Both of them tremendous athletes. They both complement each other's styles quite well, and they've been teaming together in the Mid-South for the past couple of months. They really have gotten their strategy and their tactics down, their timing. Everything's together with these two. I think they're on an all-time high right now, and I think that if the element's right, we may see an upset here.
Well, I totally agree with you, Joel. Their record in the 90th percentile, ladies and Armstrong, he is really cooking with gas here on Mid-South Wrestling.
Oh! DiBiase quickly turns the tables on Brad Armstrong, using the ropes to his advantage.
Oh! Phenomenal clothesline by Dr. S.D. Williams. 1, 2! And we got a very near fall in that situation. DiBiase changes momentum very tactfully sometimes. Dr. Death changes momentum very physically most of the time.
Oh, Dr. Death went for the leg drop and missed it.
Brickhouse Brown is doing some serious walking tall.
Dr. Death tags out to Ted DiBiase. He's got a serious eye laceration. He really got hammered. Ted DiBiase off that second rope. Arm whip. Ted DiBiase in now against Brickhouse Brown.
Joel, you hit the nail right on the head. Dr. Death's got a tremendous lacerated eye. Brad Armstrong must have really nailed it.
Well, Dr. Death's a rough and tough competitor, though. He knows how to go with that pain. That's what's always made him a cut above the rest.
Brickhouse Brown, that's tremendous strength. He powered out, but Dr. Death, he is vicious in this encounter.
Arm whip. Dr. Death goes to put the shoulder to Brickhouse Brown. Dr. Death wisely going and making the tags. Both men have tagged out now. Brad Armstrong in, fresh man in against Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death. Now all four men into the ring. Carl Fergie's got to get this thing broken up.
Well, that's easier said than done. These four athletes are getting it on.
Carl Fergie trying to restore a little bit of order. Reverse arm whip, Dr. Death. Dr. Death looked like he adjusted that arm brace and really caught Brad Armstrong. Figure four, Brad's out. Brad is unconscious.
Well, DiBiase's figure four was for more pain, but Armstrong was unconscious. Dr. Death loaded the arm brace, and he really nailed him. There you see the winner of the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, and we'll be back with Hacksaw Jim Duggan right after this.
This bout, one fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner at 226 pounds from North Carolina, Larry Clark. Larry Clark. And his opponent, coming to the ring, ladies and gentlemen, from New York State, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Your referee, Tony Torres, one fall, 10-minute time limit.
The man of the hour, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, comes walking tall to the ring. The fans are standing. They love this man in Mid-South. He's an All-American. There's the bell, and Hacksaw Duggan, he doesn't work by the hour, and we've heard that before, Joel.
Hacksaw Duggan is definitely a tough competitor. Duggan fires Larry Clark all the way over the top rope. Clark falls back into the ring. Whoa, wait a minute. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. Disqualification has been rendered. Hacksaw Duggan's the winner. Dr. Death obliterates the referee. Skandar Akbar's at ringside.
DiBiase lowered the glove and he nailed Hacksaw Duggan.
Duggan was holding his own, but against these two awesome competitors, what can you do? DiBiase with the loaded glove, and Skandar Akbar's coming to ringside. Skandar Akbar.
He's puffing the cigar. Oh my God!
We gotta get some help down here. We gotta get some help. Duggan could be severely injured. Duggan is in a bad way. He's holding him off, though. He's holding him off. Oh, yeah. All right. Bill Watts said he wasn't going to stand for any Akbar stuff.
Cowboy Bill Watts, 304 pounds, and you talk about walking tall. He saved Hacksaw Duggan's other eye. Akbar was set to go with that cigar. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some order back in this situation, and we'll be back with more after this important Mid-South wrestling announcement. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this crowd is still buzzing. You heard General Skandar Akbar early in the hour say that Ted DiBiase owed him a favor. Apparently, that was DiBiase's repayment of that favor. Thank God that Cowboy Bill Watts was on the scene. I really think he saved that the right eye of Hacksaw Jim Duggan from being burned with that cigar. And Joel, last week here on Mid-South, more unpredictable developments, this one surrounding the North American title.
Well, Ric Flair has said publicly that he never wants to wrestle Terry Taylor again. I think, personally, that Ric Flair is scared of Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor had a North American title match against the Nightmare. Ric Flair came out, and as if the prestige of the North American title wasn't enough incentive for the Nightmare, Ric Flair offered him $10,000. Then later on in the match, we saw Ric Flair got involved in the match and handed something to the Nightmare. Let's watch the closing moments of that match now. Taylor gets the arm whip. Beautiful, he elevated him. The North American champion's on a roll. He's got the Nightmare now. He's getting the momentum. Come on, Taylor. Come on, Terry.
Terry Taylor's on fire, the momentum. The pace has quickened. Taylor on the offensive. This is what he wanted.
Nightmare reverses the arm whip. Taylor ducks the clothesline in the forearm. He got the forearm on it. Cover him. Terry Taylor doesn't go for the lateral press. He goes for the figure four. What strategy. He goes for the figure four. He's got it locked in.
Taylor's got it locked. Flair's on the apron. And look at Gilbert.
Flair's on the apron. Gilbert is pulling. Gilbert's pulling the Nightmare. The Nightmare's into the ropes. He's got to break the hold now. But if Eddie Gilbert hadn't have pulled him over, we would have seen, I think, the end of the Nightmare. The Nightmare up. His knees are hurting him. Taylor's got him set for it again. Come on, Terry. The Nightmare. Ric Flair trips Terry Taylor from the outside. Ric Flair trips Terry Taylor from the outside. The Nightmare back up on his feet. Carl Fergie admonishing Ric Flair for his actions outside of the ring. That's just the pile driver. Nightmare went for the pile driver. Terry Taylor reversed it. Taylor catches Gilbert and slingshots him into the ring. A hard right. Gilbert retreats. But Ric Flair handed something to the Nightmare outside of the ring. The Nightmare catches.
Oh no!
Goodness! Ric Flair handed something to the Nightmare. The Nightmare, it looked as if He put it into his mask.
Flair handed something to the Nightmare. The Nightmare put it in his mask. He knocked Taylor cold. We've got a new North American champion. We've got a new champion. I can't believe this.
Flair gained a moral victory in that one, I believe, because Terry Taylor is no longer the North American heavyweight champion, and that certainly will hurt his contention for the world's title.
It certainly will, and the North American champion is in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go now to ring announcer Boyd Pierce.
This event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner at 285 pounds from parts unknown, the North American heavyweight champion, the Nightmare. And across...
Hold it just a second. From now on, when you introduce this man, you introduce him by his real name, the champion. Cut the Nightmare out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert say that he wants the North American heavyweight champion to not be introduced anymore as the Nightmare, but as the champion. And across the ring at 227 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols, there you see him, and going against that man, the North American heavyweight champion, the champion, as he wants to be called now, or as Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert says that he will be called. Whatever you call him, you can call him devastating, and you can also call him awesome. He is both those adjectives.
Well, I've heard some good things about Mike Nichols, but he's definitely at a big disadvantage in this match because the Nightmare is certainly an awesome competitor. The Nightmare going straight to the attack. He wasted no time in going right after Mike Nichols. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert on the outside of the ring, managing the champion, as he calls him. He's certainly a force to be reckoned with as well. Terry Taylor is hot on the trail of that North American title. I certainly hope he gets it back, Jim.
I sure do too, Joel. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, coming up still in this hour, we've got Dirty Dutch Mantell. We also have a great tag team matchup, the Fantastics against the Dirty White Boys, all still to come in this hour, Mid-South Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross along with Joel Watts at ringside. Thanks very much for allowing us to come to your home once again, ladies and gentlemen, as you see the big masked man, well over 280 pounds, the North American champion. He is operating relentlessly against young Mike Nichols.
Well, you know something, Jim, you never know. My father has held the North American title on many, many different occasions, and for quite a long time. I'm sure he wouldn't mind holding that belt. Of course, that's not his primary objective at this point.
Well, I think General Skandar Akbar knows his objective, and this Nightmare, I'll tell you, Joe, you know, he is so methodical. He's not flashy. He doesn't have a lot of real, but this right here that separates the men from the boys, that pile driver.
Well, I think he could have put Mike Nichols away long before the pile driver, but that is the coup de grace.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and the champion, the North American heavyweight champion, ladies and gentlemen, victorious, and we'll be back with a look at Dirty Dutch Mantell right after this. Thanks for staying with us, everybody. Jim Ross and Joel Watts back here at ringside for Mid-South Wrestling. Joel, a lot of exciting things are happening. We've seen a tremendous turn of events here today, but last week, Dirty Dutch Mantell got involved in a very controversial situation.
Well, Dirty Dutch has said that it's only a matter of time before he makes his position clear here in the Mid-South and gains some attention for himself. He's been carrying a whip to the ring. He calls it Shoe Baby. Last week, we saw that thing in action. It's a very vicious weapon. Dutch Mantell firing Lane off. Oh, Mantell really caught Lane with a hard clothesline, and Tommy Pritchard has kicked Mark Reagan and thrown him out of the ring. The MX! Dutch Mantell with the MX on Frank Lane.
And Mantell and Pritchard so aggressive. Wait a minute! Dutch Mantell's getting Shoe Baby. Oh no!
Got the
Ow!
Oh! Oh! Mark Reagan's coming back in. He's trying to stop him. But Pritchard with a double leg. He's out to make. Oh! He clobbered him with the end of that bullwhip. He clobbered Reagan.
They set Frank Lane on fire with that bullwhip, and now they're getting set to whip Mark Reagan.
Carl Fergie's trying to stop him. There ain't much he can do. Dutch Mantel's over there. He's setting up to whip him. Look at him go. He's got that whip. Oh, no. Wait a minute, the snowman. Whoa, the snowman tried to stop him. The snowman got that whip away from Mantel. All right. All right.
The snowman's taking over on both men. He took the whip away from Mantel. The snowman, 255 pounds. He's all man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to say the snowman was incensed would be the biggest understatement of the year. Right after that match, we had the occasion to talk to the snowman. He was a very irate man. His comments were very pointed and very direct. I think that there'll be no gray area when you hear these comments, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what the snowman had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the snowman. You just saw what happened with Dirty Dutch Mantel. I know you're incensed over the situation.
Yeah, we saw what happened with Dirty Dutch Mantel and the old tactics that he be using. Let me tell you something. Dutch Mantel, don't nobody in the world play these kind of tactics no more. It ain't no way 1827, 1828, 1957, ain't nobody living back in the past. Ain't nobody going for this. Let me tell you something, boy. Ain't nobody picking cotton, chopping cotton no more nowhere. Let me tell you something. Don't you ever pull a stunt like that again. And let me tell you something, Dutch Mantel. Boy, you got one more time to ever let me see you do it. I know you're trying to do it. This shoe, baby, I'm thinking about keeping this shoe, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. Ain't nobody don't ever hit a brother with no whip, because let me tell you, it ain't slavery. It's 1985, sucker.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the snowman is a very, very proud man. And those memories that Dutch Mantel is trying to relive belong in the past. They need to stay in the past. The snowman made that perfectly clear. He's a proud man, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, let's go to ring announcer Boyd Pierce in our next great match.
Your next bout, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner from Altroff, Texas, Dirty Dutch Mantel. And his opponent at 220 pounds in the blue corner, Alan Martin. Your referee, Carl Fergie.
Dirty Dutch Mantel accompanied to the ring with his shoe baby, his ever-present sidekick. I guess that's Texan or cowboy talk. Sidekick, shoe baby, and Dutch Mantel are inseparable. Young Alan Martin making his first appearance here on Mid-South Wrestling against a man that has an unblemished record on television.
Dirty Dutch Mantel is certainly a vicious wrestler. He's experienced. And not only that, he's rugged. He has a lot of wrestling expertise, but he's also a back alley type brawler. I tell you, he uses questionable tactics in the ring, but the thing I really don't like is that whip outside the ring. There's no need for it.
Well, you're exactly right, Joel. No need whatsoever. And the things he tries to relive are totally uncalled for. But we can't, discounting that fact, as you said, he is a very talented athlete, and he has no wasted motion. He is a very methodical, a very explosive grappler.
Well, as he said before, he's undefeated as yet on the Mid-South, but he is yet to meet up with the Snowman in single competition. I think the Snowman would give him more than a run for his money. Dutch Mantel, of course, certainly a top competitor.
And he has certainly controlled Alan Martin throughout this contest. Mantel with the elbow. This is just a matter of time as far as I'm concerned. Dutch Mantel has completely outclassed this young man. There with a clothesline. Mantel really working him over.
Dutch Mantel has got that killer instinct that you look for in the tough athletes. The MX, the front suplex maneuver.
No one has gotten up from it yet, and Alan Martin doesn't either. There you see the winner, Dirty Dutch Mantel, and we'll be back with the Fantastics against the Dirty White Boys after this message from the exciting Mid-South Wrestling Network.
This event, one fall or television time remaining, a tag team match In the red corner, from Bucksnort, Tennessee, the Dirty White Boys. And Bobby Fulton, the Fantastic. One ball or television time remaining. Your referee for this tag team match, Tony Torres.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rock and Roll Express having problems getting to the ring. These fans love these two athletes here in Mid-South. Yard Boy Pierce with the introduction. The fan, wait, the Dirty White Boys taking right over. Dirty White Boys waited a long time and they're taking right over on Rogers and Fulton.
Rogers and Fulton really got a greeting from the fans, but they also got a greeting from the Dirty White Boys, and in a different way. With Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, I've got a feeling aren't going to stand up for that kind of stuff for very long, because they get in the ring and they give it their all, brother, 100%. They give you their heart, they give it all. Bobby Fulton into the ring now. Whoa, that's brawling, all four men in the ring now. It started off in a melee.
Referee's in a very disadvantageous position. Tony Torres trying to keep order.
This is an important match for both teams, of course, because this is what keeps you high up in the rankings. These type of main events here in the Mid-South. All four men are in an intense competition here. Not a whole lot of time left on Mid-South Wrestling today.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this great program showing all this fantastic country of ours. This is a very important encounter. They're cooking in there. There you see Anthony trying to get involved.
Bobby Fulton with the flying head scissors. Both the Fantastics are very adept with the flying head scissors. It's one of their favorite moves. Double knee drop. Double atomic drop. Tony Anthony on the outside of the ring. Bobby Fulton went for a drop kick but missed it. You can see he's bandaged up around the ribs. That could be a disadvantage for him as Tony Anthony senses the injury and moves in like a shark. The Dirty White Boys, of course, a while back on Power Professional Wrestling, defaced a Marine uniform. It was a sickening incident. Something that, one of the things that has made my father come out of retirement.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, next week you're going to see the Rock and Roll Express back here on Mid-South, live and in color. Plus, you're going to see the Snowman, the television champion. Plus, the Fantastics next week. The contracts have been signed. The Fantastics against Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
I've just been notified that we've got 30 seconds of airtime left. These four men are going fist and fire. Bobby Fulton out of the way. He gets the tag to Tommy Rogers. Tommy Rogers in now. He's fired away. We got about 20 seconds to gain a decision. All four men in the ring now. Referee Tony Torres got to try to break this stuff up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to leave you this week. For ring announcer Boyd Pierce and Joel Watts, I'm Jim Ross saying, so long, everybody, till we see you next week. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Mid-South Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross, and this is Joel Watts, and we're going to call all the action for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. A tremendous hour in store for you. You've got some great single competition like the Snowman in action. You're going to see Terry Taylor in action. You'll see Superstar Bill Dundee against the North American Heavyweight Champion, the former Nightmare, now called the Champion. Plus, Joe, we've got a great tag team matchup that's going to be just one of the great main events of all time.
The Fantastics are going to be taking on Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. It promises to be a great match. And Jim, there's a special message from Mid-South to all groups and organizations out there that would like a great idea for a fundraiser. Let's watch that now.
This announcement is for nonprofit groups and organizations. Mid-South Wrestling is a tremendous fundraiser, and dates are now being scheduled in your area. Your group could sponsor Mid-South Wrestling at your local high school gymnasium or athletic field. See the top wrestling stars from television in your hometown and raise money for your favorite project. For more information, write Mid-South Sports, 116 West Breckenridge, Bixby, Oklahoma, 74008, and include your phone number. Mid-South Wrestling can help your organization raise money right today.
A great fundraising idea, ladies and gentlemen, for your nonprofit group or organization. We certainly look forward to hearing from some of the fine groups around the Mid-South area. You know, ladies and gentlemen, last week Hacksaw Duggan was in action, and it's public knowledge that General Skandar Akbar has said that he will do anything to rid wrestling, as he says, of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But little did we know that he would stoop to an all-time low, as he attempted to do last week. Thank goodness for Cowboy Bill Watts. Let's join the closing moments of that battle.
Duggan fires Larry Clark all the way over the top rope. Clark falls back into the ring. Whoa, wait a minute. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase. Disqualification has been rendered. Hacksaw Duggan's the winner. Dr. Death obliterates the referee. Skandar Akbar is at ringside.
DiBiase lowered the glove, and he nailed Hacksaw Duggan.
Duggan was holding his own, but against these two awesome competitors, what can you do? DiBiase with the loaded glove, and Skandar Akbar is coming to ringside. Skandar Akbar.
He's pumping the cigar. Oh, my God.
We got to get some help down here. We got to get some help. Duggan could be severely injured. Duggan is in a bad way. He's holding him off, though. He's holding him off. Oh, yeah. All right. Bill Watts said he wasn't going to stand for any Akbar stuff.
Cowboy Bill Watts, 304 pounds, and you talk about walking tall. He saved Hacksaw Duggan's other eye. Akbar was set to go with that cigar.
Well, Hacksaw Duggan is a man after my father's own heart. My father said there was no way he could stand by and watch something like that be perpetrated on Hacksaw Jim Duggan again. That's exactly why he got out and came out of retirement again. But, of course, there's one man who's extremely vocal.
Well, Joel, Skandar Akbar is certainly never lost for words. His comments are so stinging, they hit you so deeply. He is a very demented man. There's no doubt about that. A desperate man. He had this to say.
So you know who rules the Mid-South area. And you saw just a moment ago that all it takes, Duggan, is just one little incident, and I hate to keep repeating that you already are handicapped. And all it takes is that one more time, and then you will be pushing pencils on the street just like I said you would. I will eliminate you, Duggan, if it takes every dollar I have, and I have unlimited money, unlimited resources. You're dealing with a godfather. You're dealing with the greatest man ever associated with this business. I made a fool out of Mid-South. I made a fool out of Bill Watts. And now the Cowboy has come out of retirement. Do you understand who you're dealing with, Watts? You'll never get a chance to put those grimy hands on me, because you've got to go through the greatest of all, Kamala. You've got the one-man gang, you got Killer Khan, you got the missing link, you got them all. And I've got the money to bring them down. So if Mid-South sees fit to institute another suspension against me, go right ahead for what's happened a while ago. Go right on ahead, because you won't get to first base. You know I'm standing here because I went through your American courts. I did it legally, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Your American way is finished, and Watts, you and Duggan will go down just like America.
Well, some tremendous confrontations are brewing in this situation. The stakes are getting extremely high. Akbar has laid his cards on the table. Cowboy Bill Watts and Hacksaw Duggan have made their stand, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, we're about ready to go to the ring in our first big matchup. Here's ring announcer Boyd Pierce.
This event, a tag team match, 1 fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, from parts unknown, the Bruiser. And his partner, 226 pounds, from Houston, Texas, Tommy Pritchard. Their opponent, Rick Martin and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express. Tony Torres, your referee.
This tremendous crowd, the Irish Manil Boys Club, standing for a pair of their favorites, the charismatic specialists, the duo known as the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. So it's going to be Robert Gibson starting against Tommy Pritchard. Tony Torres, the third man in the ring in this situation. Joel, we've got tag team action.
Well, the Rock and Roll Express are hot after those Mid-South tag team titles. They won them back in the worst way, and as a matter of fact, if they win this match today, they'll get their rematch right here on Mid-South Wrestling against Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase on television. Grizzly Smith has really outdone himself this time. Robert Gibson in there with arm drags, showing his amateur background.
You know, Joel, these two young men, the Rock and Roll Express, are certainly tag team specialists. I've never seen them in single competition. And Mr. Bruiser, you made a bad mistake, sir.
Well, Ricky Morton is ready to give you a clean technical match. But brother, you cross him and the little guy's ready to fire. Double drop kick.
Double drop kick. He can count to 30 if he wanted to. A tremendous victory for the Rock and Roll Express. And we'll be back with that giant Barbarian right after this.
This event, 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Over the top rope in the red corner, from parts unknown, the Barbarian. And his opponent from Florida, Frankie Lane.
Frankie Lane has the unenviable task of going nose to nose with a 6'8". Whoa! The Barbarian! The Barbarian pointed to something and Frankie Lane's attention was broken. And that's all the Barbarian needs. He's an animal.
He certainly is, Jim. He asks no quarter and he gives none. He puts Frankie Lane in a bear hug. He's got him up about 6 feet off the ground, crushing that lower rib cage.
You know, Joel, he's always had scary strength. He showed a little bit of cunning, a little bit of ring savvy that he's picking up from Jake the Snake Roberts, the subterfuge, and Frankie Lane caught off guard, and he has really been going.
Oh, Frankie Lane caught him with a drop back kick, but he couldn't knock the big man off his feet. He's pounding the Barbarian in the midsection, but it's not even phasing him. Barbarian hits him with a hard forearm.
You got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, this man is 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighs well over 300 pounds. He's still growing. He's a young man.
Barbarian with a hard leg drop. Now this is a Barbarian's going to the second rope. I've seen him use this maneuver before. It's awesome.
He caved his chest in. He came all the way across the ring. You saw it. Great camera shot.
He could probably finish off Frankie Lane right there, but he goes instead for the full Nelson.
He calls it the big squeeze. He's got it wrapped in.
Well, you can see Frankie Lane grimacing in pain. That move is illegal in amateur wrestling. and for good reason. It's extremely dangerous.
There you see the winner, that giant barbarian. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with Tag Team Wrestling after this word from the exciting Mid-South Television Network.
This event, one fall or a 10-minute time limit, a tag team match. Introducing first, entering the red corner, from Bucksnort, Tennessee, the Dirty White Boys. And across the ring, their opponents, the All-Texas team, first at 230 pounds from San Antonio, Wendell Cooley. And his partner from Amarillo, Texas, Terry Daniels.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Carl Fergie has been assigned this match by Mid-South. Tippers are running extremely high in this situation. Private Terry Daniels was attacked by the Dirty White Boys. Many of you have seen that situation. Private Terry Daniels so excited he hasn't even taken off his t-shirt. Perhaps he's going to go with that. I don't think he cares what he has on, Joel. He just wants some more of the Dirty White Boys.
Well, Terry Daniels is awful mad at him. They disgraced his uniform. And look at him go! You won't see Terry Daniels resorting to those tactics too often. But when he has to, brother, he's a fighter. Marines are fighters. They're trained to fight. He comes out there and he says, hey, I might not win every match, but I'll at least give you a run for your money.
Wendell Cooley, a very impressive newcomer here on Mid-South from San Antonio, Texas. He has all the qualifications. He's in there with Tony Anthony and the Dirty White Boys, and that right hand struck home. Deep in the heart of Texas, that right hand came from.
Well, Wendell Cooley has certainly come here with high credentials. With Terry Daniels back in the ring now. That shirt, Jim, it says, we're proud to be the Marines. I think that might have something to do with his wearing it right now.
He's a proud young American, I'll tell you that. There's no doubt about that situation. The Dirty White Boys, well, they're not proud of anything except their own terrible reputation that they work on religiously.
Well, there's one thing you really can't take away from them. They are a good tag team. They wrestle together extremely well. And as a matter of fact, here in the Mid-South, with the competition as it is, they've become better than when they first got here, in my opinion. Of course, to be the best, you got to wrestle the best. And right here in the Mid-South, you can find all the competition. Whoa! Lynn Denton really hammered Wendell Cooley with a clothesline. Lynn Denton uses that clothesline very, very effectively. He's really gaining some momentum on Wendell Cooley. Cooley, whoa! A double kick. Now see that the Dirty White Boys are using classic tag team strategy at this point. Quick tags, keeping one man in the opponent. Keeping one man in the ring, rather.
Well, Terry Daniels is keeping the momentum rolling on the outside, but he needs to get back in there. Cooley needs to make that tag. Of course, that's easier said than done as the Dirty White Boys keeping the match in their half of the ring.
A hard back suplex by Lynn Denton. Lateral press gets a 2 count for Carl Fergie. Denton using some unnecessary right crosses there. Whoa! Another one. He hammers Cooley, but Cooley fires back. Cooley fired back now. He's catching Denton. Anthony's into the ring. Anthony into the ring without a tag, it looked like.
Apparently he made the tag. The referee's allowing him to stay in the ring. I know Fergie would not do that. Now there's an obvious tag. Well, right now the Dirty White Boys are doing what they do best. That's control the tempo. But Cooley, he come from left field with that kick. He came from left field with a kick. He's trying to get the tag. There, he's made the tag.
Terry Daniels is in, and he's like a buzzsaw in there. He's in shape, brother. He can go at that pace all day long. Terry Daniels firing away with right crosses, knees. He's using his whole body as a weapon. But he missed that drop kick there. He got a little overzealous, I guess. He missed the drop kick. Lynn Denton's got a hold of him now. Oh! An elbow off the second rope from Tony Anthony.
Cheap shot, another shortcut, the Dirty White Boys. A victory over Private Terry Daniels and Wendell Cooley. And ladies and gentlemen, when we return, you're going to see the one and only, the Snowman, right after this.
This event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. In the red corner at 225 pounds, from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Pat Rose. His opponent, from Memphis, the Mid-South television champion, the Snowman. Your referee, Tony Torres.
And ladies and gentlemen, a third party that has not been introduced because he's not a participant in this encounter is Dirty Dutch Mantell, accompanied by Shoe Baby. You see him at the bottom of your screen down there. Dirty Dutch Mantell, there's a good shot of the Dutchman. Well, I don't know what happened.
Oh, the Snowman ran right after Pat Rose. Dutch Mantell, of course, on the outside, still waiting around. He's on a quest for that TV title. Of course, he's got a score to settle with the Snowman after the Snowman took his whip away from him 2 weeks ago. Snowman with the arm whip. You know, Snowman has had Bundini Brown as his trainer. He told everybody about it, and he was telling the truth because Muhammad Ali came to his match in the Superdome, and you could see Snowman doing the shuffle. He learned it from the master himself.
I'll tell you what, Snowman, 255 pounds of bad.
He's bad to the bone, Jim. He is not only strong, whoa! He got Pat Rose up there like it was nothing, 225 pounds, and that's nothing to the Snowman. He bench presses 500, squats 600. He is as strong and tough to the core as they come.
Man, those unorthodox body slams, he just drills them to the mat. He pulverizes.
He's a tough competitor, Jim. A hard elbow. The Snowman got his leg caught up in that one, but that didn't faze him still. He's up. Pat Rose, you can see, is in a lot of pain. Snowman going after that arm. The Snowman was the first person in history to kick out of the DDT. That just shows you how incredibly tough he really is.
Well, as we said, you know, he is bad to the bone. He's an awesome athlete. Whoa, oh!
There's that power slam.
The power slam. Pat Rose was down for the count, and Dutch Mantell certainly does not like what he has seen. Wait just a second.
Hey, Snowman, hey! Hey, it ain't over, buddy. It ain't over. Come on.
Snowman saying it's not over yet.
That was Dutch Mantell saying it's not over, and you don't have to invite this man but one time. But that bullwhip's in there. He's getting in the ring, and that bullwhip's looking him right down the throat.
Referee's in the ring trying to break this up as well they should. The Snowman's ready. He ain't afraid of anything.
Or anybody, and I'll tell you, I don't know of anybody that want to get in the ring of that bullwhip. That Snowman, it brings back too many bad memories of that man. We've talked about that in private, ladies and gentlemen. He's a proud man.
The Snowman squaring off with Dutch Mantell, but Dutch yet to make any aggressive maneuvers.
Well, you heard that. Mantell says, I'm going to get you, Snowman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the Fantastics against the Mid-South Tag Team Champions after this word from the Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
This tag team match, one fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner, the Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death, Steve Williams. opponents, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastic.
What a tag team matchup you're about to see. One of the most explosive duos in wrestling, the Fantastics, going against, right now, they are #1. They are recognized as the top tag team in all the land. Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams, the current Mid-South Tag Team Champions. Referee Randy Anderson calls for the bell. And Joel, this one could be very sudden, because anytime you've got 4 athletes like this with tremendous athletic ability, anything can happen and probably will.
And Dr. Death goes right after Tommy Rogers, catches him a quick body slam. The Fantastics at a slight weight disadvantage here. They've got to use strategy to their advantage. Of course, in tag team wrestling, you can get by with having a weight disadvantage a lot more than you can in a singles match. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase, great tag team strategists as well, and I think that's what's put them at the top of the ladder.
And I think we've got a classic matchup, just like the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers, that quick team, that speed team, that's what you have in the Fantastics. There you see Dr. Death. A power team like the Boston Celtics. They go right at you time and time and time again. They're relentless. And Ted DiBiase in that corner, the master tactician.
Oh! Tommy Rogers caught Dr. Death with a drop kick from behind. Beautiful maneuver. All 4 men in the ring now. It's a melee.
Up-tempo situation. Fantastics have the advantage. And this crowd, this phenomenal crowd, loves these 2 men. I'm sure this is not what Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase had talked about prior to coming to this match. They have to control the tempo, slow the tempo down somewhat, and stay on the offensive. Whereas that team, the Fantastics, they want to kick it in gear. They want to go right at these big men.
Well, it may look like in that situation that Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase might have been scared of the Fantastics, but I think it was just a strategic maneuver to get out and rearrange their strategy. They are great tacticians. Oh, Dr. Death! Arm up Tommy Rogers in. Tommy Rogers, there's that quickness you were talking about, Jim. That's where that quickness comes into play. Bobby Fulton off the ropes. A high leg drop. A high leg drop.
Well, they're striking with sudden maneuvers. They're so quick, so explosive, the Fantastics. They have, this is not new for them to be outweighed. They know exactly how to combat that weight and strength advantage. But do they have the tag team expertise to stay with DiBiase and Dr. Death? That's the question that must be answered as this match progresses.
Well, the Fantastics have proved that they can be championship caliber. They've been the American Tag Team Champions in the world class area in Dallas.
Well, anytime you can defeat the Midnight Express, Joel, you have already proven to me, and I'm sure all the fans, that you are world-class caliber. They are certainly that, but they're in the ring, as I mentioned earlier. The magazines, the sports writers, they all say that this duo of Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase right now, they're setting atop the tag team rankings in this country.
No doubt about it. Tommy Rogers off the ropes. He catches Ted DiBiase, a hard right cross. Goes back to the arm of Dr. Death. Bobby Fulton off the second rope. Dr. Death now at this point, he's in tremendous physical condition. You can see that he hasn't, even though he's been in a ring against both these guys and hasn't made a tag yet, I'm sure he's far from being tired. Tommy Rogers off the ropes.
Well, there's a classic example. When you take the big man off his feet, look how tall he is. That's wrestling. That's amateur wrestling. It's professional wrestling. That's the way the sport has been laid out.
These two men definitely have to keep their distance from Dr. Death. They can't let it get a hold of him with, say, a bear hug or something. Tommy Rogers moves in close there and reverses the hip toss. Nice maneuver. I think right now that's what has kept Dr. Death off guard has been their quickness. Bobby Fulton off the ropes. Look at how well these two men use the ropes to their advantage.
Just adds a little more strength, a little more leverage, but Dr. Death now he took a cheap shot on Fulton.
Fulton with the sunset flip. Fulton relentless in his attack. They're really going for it. This is a big match for the Fantastics. Dr. Death getting very vicious. DiBiase has got Bobby Fulton.
His Fulton's ribs have been injured. We saw them tape last week. DiBiase with that tremendous cheap shot. The steel post, the ring move when he slammed that man into the post. And Fulton is in deep, deep trouble.
Once again, we see the technical expertise of Ted DiBiase in action. And the physical conditioning of Dr. Death as Dr. Death rebounds quickly from his situation and puts Bobby Fulton in a bad, bad way with that bear hug across the lower rib cage. He makes the tag to Ted DiBiase. DiBiase is now applying the punishment quickly. And I think we're going to see that Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death can take advantage of the momentum that they've got just as well, if not better than the Fantastics. DiBiase with the arm whip, elevation. He's got Bobby Fulton in trouble now.
DiBiase has that ability to change gears. No wasted motion. He's a punishing individual. That back in the rib area, Fulton taking a tremendous punishment here on Mid-South Wrestling. Don't forget, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, Terry Taylor, Superstar Dundee against the Nightmare. They're all going to be here. What an hour we've got left. What a match we're having now.
DiBiase with the quick tag. Dr. Death goes into one of his favorite holds, the bear hug. And for good reason. You can see the awesome development of his upper body. He is so, so powerful.
These men are big, and they are tough, and they're taking over on the Fantastics. An excellent tag team indeed. And Dr. Death and DiBiase showing why they, at this point in time, are the #1 tag team in wrestling.
Dr. Death really applying the punishment to that ribcage area. Bobby Fulton gets his leg on the rope and saves a possible fall.
Well, frankly, I don't know how much more that Bobby Fulton can take, ladies and gentlemen. What punishment he's been inflicted upon him by Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Ted DiBiase.
Well, these two young individuals have got a lot of heart, along with their quickness and their athletic ability. That's what's kept them in such high ranking in the country as a tag team. It takes a lot of heart to be able to take on these two awesome powerhouses, DiBiase and Doc. DiBiase with the arm whip. Off the ropes goes Fulton. Fulton. Oh, he didn't quite have enough left. Not enough energy. DiBiase and Doc now tagging off, using the quick tag to their advantage. DiBiase again with the arm whip and an elbow. A hard body slam. They have got a lot of momentum. But Bobby Fulton gets out of the way. DiBiase went for a high-risk maneuver, and I think he underestimated Bobby Fulton at that time. He had really punished Fulton, but Fulton with so much heart, he gives 110% every single match. There's the tag. Tommy Rogers really hammered Dr. Death. Boy, he hammered Dr. Death. Dr. Death, all four men in the ring now. Fulton with a drop kick. DiBiase goes out of the ring. Randy Anderson trying to get Fulton out of the ring and straighten things out. DiBiase's loading that glove. DiBiase loads the glove. Tommy Rogers goes for the flying head scissors. And DiBiase knocked him out. Now Dr. Death loads. He adjusted that forearm. Adjusted that forearm pad. Oh.
What a victory. What a tag team combination. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Ted DiBiase. They are simply awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with Terry Taylor right after this.
This event, one fall or 10-minute time limit. In the red corner at 258 pounds from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Akbar Thomas. And his opponent, Vero Beach, Florida, 232.5 pounds, Terry Taylor. Carl Fergie, your referee.
The ever-popular Terry Taylor set to go against Oklahoma University's former All-American Akbar Boo Thomas. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Washington High School. Tremendous amateur wrestler, a man that has traveled many miles with Steve Dr. Death Williams. Wait just a second there. Well, he didn't learn that tactic from Coach Stanley Abel of University of Oklahoma. Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase always have had some influence on Ed Carr Thomas, but Terry Taylor, Joel, what a great young star, a tremendous young star in wrestling.
Oh yeah, Terry Taylor hot on the trail for the North American title and the NWA World Heavyweight title. This is certainly going to be a tough test for Ed Carr Thomas. Thomas has improved quite a bit since he's come to the Mid-South, but it's going to take a lot against this great young superstar, the man that has defeated some of the largest wrestlers. A weight disadvantage means practically nothing to Terry Taylor. He has shown that he's got the fighting heart, the agility, the wrestling expertise, and the strength. It all adds up to a great superstar.
You know, Joel, it's been brought to my attention that Grizzly Smith has met with Skandar Akbar. Apparently, the Akbar's going to bring out a new man next week called Zambui. Whatever or whoever Zambui is, Akbar will have him here next week on Mid-South Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. That should be quite a matchup. Still yet to come, Superstar Dundee against the North American champion, Eddie Hot Stuff Gilbert, Masked Man, the champion.
The Skandar Akbar's stable continues to grow in size and strength. Certainly, I think he's building up more and more artillery with the advent of my father in the ring. And frankly, I believe he's going to have to. Edgar Thomas now has got Terry Taylor in the ropes.
You know, what would this mean to Ed Carr Thomas's career to score a victory over Terry Taylor right here on national television?
Well, you know, Jim, on any given day, you can see an upset. That's what makes wrestling so exciting. Edgar Thomas missed with the elbow. Terry Taylor in there deep. A go behind. Terry Taylor with the rear suplex. Edgar Thomas caught his head on that mat. That's certainly painful, but Terry Taylor's got him up and he's catching him with rights. He caught him a hard drop kick.
Right to the jaw. Thomas goes down. Taylor, he's on fire.
Thomas feels the sting of the canvas once more as he snap-mared down. And Terry Taylor with that hard knee drop coming off the ropes. He's got Ed Carr Thomas in a bad way. Terry can really switch the momentum and oh! Taylor with the forearm.
The winner of the match, Terry Taylor. And we'll be right back with Superstar Bill Dundee against the champion right after this from the exciting Mid-South Wrestling Television Network.
This event, one fall or television time remaining. In the red corner, from parts unknown, the North American heavyweight title holder, at the request of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, he's not the Nightmare, but the champion. And across the ring, weighing in at 210 pounds from Melbourne, Australia, the Superstar Bill Dundee. Your referee, Tony Torres.
Superstar Bill Dundee with a renowned reputation, a real veteran, ladies and gentlemen. He has held so many regional titles. Without a doubt, the greatest that Australia has had to offer. And there you see quite an athlete. 280 plus pounds, the North American heavyweight champion. And I don't care, ladies and gentlemen, we can say what we want about his tactics and about the leadership he accepts from Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. But anytime you're the North American heavyweight champion, you are a double tough man.
Terry Taylor certainly got a tough fight on his hands in trying to regain that North American title. The Superstar Bill Dundee here has got quite a fight. He's going to have to approach this with a lot of strategy in order to take on this big man. He's got to keep his distance from him, try to hit him with the big move and get him down. Dundee blocks the body slam and he's catching the champion with rights. He hit him a drop kick.
Get up there, come on, get up, get up, get up.
Well, Hot Stuff is really vocal here at today on Mid-South Wrestling.
Dundee is catching the champion off guard. He's keeping his distance from him.
Well, Dundee wants to give a swift kick to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. That was his mistake at this point in time because now the Nightmare has really seized this opportunity. This man is big, and he is so strong. He's not had his shoulders pinned to the mat since he's been in the Mid-South.
You're absolutely right, Jim. Undefeated and the North American heavyweight champion. He has proved to everybody that he is an awesome force. He's got Superstar Dundee in a front face lock right now. A very, very excruciatingly painful hold.
We saw him knock out Terry Taylor in a very controversial situation that cost Taylor the North American Championship. But we have seen him put out opponent after opponent with as deadly a pile driver as I've ever seen in wrestling.
Well, as big as the Nightmare is, you see the size of those legs, they're like tree trunks. He can really get a lot of velocity and momentum into a pile driver. And speaking of momentum, he has gained the momentum on Superstar Dundee. Now he's moving in on him. A backbreaker, a lateral press. Catches Dundee for the 2 count. Dundee, however, you can never discount him. He believes in himself, and he's got a heart the size of Texas.
No doubt about that. He is a tough, tough competitor. Dynamite does come in small packages. He's got the experience and the expertise, but I tell you, that big man is really, really relentless. The Nightmare is controlling the tempo. He's controlling this match, but look at the Superstar come right back.
Superstar sunk a knee deep into the midsection, but the champion returned with one of his own in kind. He's thundering down on him with those elbows, and you could imagine the pain that could be produced by 280 plus pounds coming down on you hard with that elbow. The champion has Dundee up for a body slam. He throws him down hard and comes off the ropes. Whoa, the high risk maneuver. A little too early, Dundee with that fighting hard. He's going fist and fire, look at him go. Dundee with rights and lefts. Takes the champion off his feet. Dundee with the arm whip. Dundee goes for the sleeper. Dundee's going for the sleeper.
Dundee, the master of the sleeper hold. He has it locked on the Nightmare.
The champion is using his strategy though. He's trying to get Dundee off his feet.
Hot stuff, Gilbert up on that ring apron. He's yelling at his man, the champion.
Champion manages to hook the legs and extricate himself from the sleeper. Beautiful move. And Dundee, now you can see him, the grimacing of pain on his face. He caught that knee deep in the kidney, and the champion back after him. Dundee takes him to the ropes, rolls him up. Whoa, Gilbert just caught a shoulder block. Gilbert caught a shoulder block, but I think Gilbert handed something to the Nightmare. The Nightmare putting something in his mask. Just off of the range of the camera, the Nightmare put something in that mask, and he just headbutted Dundee.
Well, the champion. He had something, there's no doubt about it. He put something in that mask. Eddie Gilbert and the Nightmare, ladies and gentlemen, victorious, the champion, victorious here on Mid-South Wrestling. Well, it's just been announced, ladies and gentlemen. You're hearing it firsthand right here on Mid-South Wrestling. Next week, right here on television, the Mid-South Tag titles on the line. Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams will defend it against the Rock and Roll Express right here next week on television. So don't forget to be with us right here next week for ring announcer Boyd Pierce and for Joel Watts. I'm Jim Ross saying, ladies and gentlemen, till we see you next week, so long, everybody.